Let's make a Rum Alexander. Hi, I'm Jared. Welcome to Kill-Divill, where we focus on rum and cocktails. Today we are going to make a Rum Alexander. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. In either case, I hope you enjoy this drink. Most people have heard of the Brandy Alexander. It's very popular and is usually a dessert drink. However, the original Alexander drink was just called the Alexander, and it was made with gin. We don't really know who created it or when. However, we do have some guesses. We do know that it was made before 1915. One of the stories about its creation is that it was named after Grover Cleveland Alexander, who was a pitcher for the Philadelphia team in the 1915 World Series. The other story was a little bit more complex. In it, Troy Alexander, who was a bartender at Rector's Lobster Restaurant in New York, created the first Alexander cocktail so that Phoebe Snow could drink it in her advertising campaign. Note that Phoebe Snow did not exist. She was a fictional character that was used to advertise travel by train. Before Phoebe Snow, people knew that trains were dirty. Trains burned coal and produced a lot of soot, which would make your clothes very dirty, and it was also unhealthy for you. However, one rail company, and I don't know which one it was, started using a different sort of fuel that burned cleaner, and therefore Phoebe Snow could ride the train safely in her entirely white outfits. And what was she drinking while she was doing this? An Alexander. And at some point after its creation, somebody decided to switch the gin for brandy. They also tweaked the proportions a little bit, and the Brandy Alexander was born. Sometime after that, somebody switched the brandy for rum, and we got the Rum Alexander. We don't know when that happened, and we don't know who did it. But I'm glad they did it. Note that when I looked up Rum Alexanders online, almost every recipe was exactly identical. There were a couple outliers, but they're usually way off center, so this is what I'm going for with this recipe, is where most of them land. Every Rum Alexander recipe I found online uses a white rum. I'm going to be using Bacardi today because that's what I have, but go ahead and try other white rums in here and let me know how they turn out. A note on the Crème de Cacao. I hope I'm saying that right. There are two types of crème de cacao. There's brown and there's clear, or white. Every recipe that I found online used brown crème de cacao. However, I don't have brown this is getting hard to say, brown crème de cacao, and I didn't feel like buying a whole new bottle just for this, so I'm going to be using white or clear. Note that the only real difference between the two is that one has caramel coloring in it. The flavors are identical. To make this drink, I'm going to start with my nutmeg. 1 pinch of freshly grated, or in my case, freshly ground nutmeg. 1 ounce of heavy cream. 1 ounce is 30 milliliters. 3/4 ounce of your creme de cacao. 3/4 ounce is 22.5 milliliters. And finally, your white rum. 1.5 ounces, which is 45 milliliters of your white rum. Add some ice. And give it a shake. Lose the top of your shaker. Use a coupe and double strain into that. Garnish, grated nutmeg, or in my case, ground nutmeg. I'm not going to do a pinch. I'm going to do a little shake. A little bit more shake than that. And that's it. Rum Alexander. Drink with good spirits. Question of the day. What is your favorite spirit for an Alexander? Let me know in the comments down below. Note that there are ways to support the channel if you're so inclined. I have t-shirts. You can have a t-shirt. All you have to do is contact me through any of the social media links down below. We'll make sure you get a t-shirt. And while you're there, you might as well follow, subscribe, and do whatever you do on social media. Finally, if you made it this far, give me a like, give me a subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss out on anything that I do. And until next time, cheers.